Mike D. Can't get control of my stuff. Look at this traffic. Look at that. Ridiculous. New York living takes you 20 years to get to work and you only work 30 miles away. Doesn't make any sense. Mr. Maki coming at you live and direct, back row ministry, the world premiere. Haven't hit Reverb Nation up, but we'll be stockpiling Reverb Nation with videos. Need to sit my old butt down and make some tracks. So I gotta hook up everything this weekend. I got a lot on my plate. They're working me like a slave. I feel like I'm Bilal for real back in Arabian slave times. And yes, the Arabs had slaves too. Real quick, wanted to do a video. I saw the little piece about the Las Vegas shooting, Mandalay Bay Hotel. Now they're saying, this is saying the gentleman had 7 guns. We know they talk about possibly the weapon was an M240 or M60 and that he fired off about 900 rounds. Nobody heard him firing off this weapon, yada yada yada. Okay, so this is what I want you people to think about, and I want you to go do some research. I keep pushing this. Stop believing everything you see on the TV. The TV is what we call the idiot box. It's programming for idiots. Its job is to sell you fantasy. And some people say, well, it was on television, it was on the news, so it has to be true. TV sells fantasies. This is the same product that gives you sitcoms, horror movies, science fiction. Its job is to sell fantasies. In the news, they're masters of selling people fantasy, especially people too stupid to research stuff for themselves. So let's go through a series of questions. Question number 1. The shooter was firing from his hotel room. Okay. Not a lot of hotels in America anymore have windows that open up. You need to have some form of a balcony. A sliding glass door balcony are in a lot of hotels. Okay. If you've been in the United States military that I have, you do need a pod and stand for M240s and M260s unless you're going to be on the ground, and you can use the feet for the M240, M260. But if you're on a balcony at a hotel, especially in Las Vegas, Miami, on the beach, anywhere, I think it's going to look pretty strange to be setting up an M240 on a balcony and somebody going to peep you. Usually somebody's outside. Somebody going to peep you setting up this M240 or M260. Research the Mandalay Bay. There are no open windows in the Mandalay Bay. There's no way to open a window in the Mandalay Bay. Research it. Go look at the hotel. There's no way to really do this. There are no balconies at the Mandalay Bay. They don't have sliding glass balconies at the Mandalay Bay. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong, but they do not have balconies. So this man has an M240, M60. If you've been in the United States military, if you shot these weapons, you know how loud a fucking M240 and M60 is. If that mag opens up, he gonna take a window, ain't gonna be nothing left. Depending on the type of window it is, there's not gonna be anything left. Everybody's gonna know that is something going on. There's gonna be glass everywhere. You gonna know that M240, M60 is firing. Best believe that. So M240 is a very messy weapon. The M60 is a very messy weapon. Now, let's get to the big issues at hand. This is for those idiots who say, and they're always talking about their Second Amendment rights. Let's see how much you know about weapons. First of all, there's something we call in the military a hot gun, and a lot of weapons that are gas chamber fed weapons in the M240, M60 are what we call gas chamber fed weapons. They have a hot gun situation. Well, what does this mean, Mark? What is a hot gun? Well, these weapons can only fire a certain amount of rounds before they overheat, and you have to have a cooling period in order to allow them to cool down and then you can fire some more. And you're told what the cooling period is. 200 rounds for the M60 is a cooling period. 240 about the same. You can fire 200 rounds, and then you got to have your cooling period somewhere in that. That's why you'll do bursts, you'll stop, you do some more bursts. You just won't do 900 rounds because the weapon's gonna overheat. The weapon will overheat. So this dude, they said, fired 900 rounds out of an M240, M60, and there was no hot gun. Totally impossible, people. Totally impossible. Anybody to be in the military tell you it's totally impossible. He's gonna have a hot gun, or that weapon's gonna fuck up, and it's gonna go off on him. Basically, it's gonna go off on him. Hot gun, rounds get hot. Rounds have been known to fire out the back of a fucking M240, M60. So it has happened on many of occasions. That can happen in a hot gun situation. So this guy said he stopped 15 minutes and then he reloaded. Please, it takes longer to reload an M240 and M60 than quick 15 or 5 minutes. It takes a while. I don't care how much a professional you is, it takes a while. Another thing with that weapon, the M240, M60, for anybody who shot these weapons, they are very unpredictable, and they are not really, what's the word I want to use? They're not really reliable. They jam up a lot. Anybody who shot an M60 and you doing succession fires, know that this weapon jams up a lot. It's very nasty. It jams up. The 240 jams up even more than the M60 when you're firing like that. So that weapon would have jammed a whole bunch of times. But the whole point I'm trying to make is the sound that these weapons make. This ain't no no. This is you're gonna hear it. It's impossible. If that dude opens up, everybody in the hotel would have heard that weapon on that floor. For 2-3 floors down, they would have heard that. Glass would have been everywhere. It's impossible. Everybody would have heard this. So this thing of we didn't know where the shots were coming from. Bullshit. Then this dude's got an M240, M60, and the police they kick in the door, he's dead. Come on, man. Come on, man. He shot one of the police officers through the door. What did he use? A handgun? A M16? A rifle? What did he use? Start asking questions, people. Stop listening to the idiot boxers just believing everything they throw at you. Go to some people who know about these weapons. Ask them, can you really do that? We don't ask any questions. There's no windows in the hotel. How was he shooting the weapon? Did he cut a hole in the window? He had time to do all this? Come on, man. Ask some questions. We don't ask questions. We just believe what we see. We believe what we hear, but we don't ask questions. It's impossible to do some of this stuff and not be heard. There's no silencer for an M240, M60, people. There's no silencer for the weapon. There's no silencer, man. There's no silencer. Well, we saw the flashes from the flash suppressor. You heard that motherfucker be firing. What the hell you talking about? You saw the flashes. Please. Try to sell us something that we believe. My belief is, didn't shit happen at the Mandalay Bay Hotel? Not a goddamn thing. Let's find some people that was at the Mandalay Bay during that time to ask them if they saw anything suspicious, if there were parts of the hotel that were purposely shut down, which they do sometimes during this concert. Find some people who actually went to the damn concert. But stop letting them try to sell you this bag of goods that all this stuff be taking place and then ain't nothing took place. And you ask somebody who's at the Mandalay Bay, they ain't seen nothing going on. Not a damn thing. Mr. Mockney, Back Road Ministry, stop believing the bullshit.